Well, we are not in South America anymore.
We are not. We've actually been in Canada for a few weeks now, and we only have 2 more weeks left here before we go on a new exciting adventure. So we're actually at my parents' place, and we're going to be doing a barbecue because it's a beautiful summer day over here. And initially we wanted to do an Argentine style barbecue, but that's a little bit hard to recreate in Canada because we just don't have the same cuts of meat and we don't really have the same tools over here. So I'm going to take you into the yard and my dad's going to be the grill master today. So let's go talk to him.
Yes, so we could call this an Argentine inspired barbecue slash parrilla.
Yes, let's go. Okay, so this is my dad, Daniel, the Argentine grill master.
Try to be.
Today we're kind of doing more of a Canadian style barbecue, I guess, because we're using a grill. And how would you do it in Argentina if you were back home?
Well, this is a variation for North America, right?
Yeah.
In Argentina, you would first use a hardwood. No charcoal, no gas, none of that stuff. You build a fire, you let it burn for a while. Once you start getting the lit charcoals, then you put under the grill, and then that's how you do it over there, you know.
Yeah.
Here, you're not allowed to make a fire in the open by law, so, and I don't have a parrilla, which is the area where you barbecue traditionally at home, so we gotta do with what we gotta do.
Yeah.
And we're using charcoal, hardwood charcoal, okay? Gas barbecue is easy, it's clean, but to me it's not a real barbecuer, you know, like, I mean, it's a shortcut. The taste also is not the same as charcoal. And the other thing is that I only use just paper to start the fires because I don't like to use any of those chemical products or, you know.
Motorcycle racing?
Where is the police?
There's the police. You know? They're coming to arrest us.
So no, yeah, a little bit of newspaper, old print that you have laying around. You light the charcoal, you get it going, and that's all you need. You know, no chemicals, no gasoline, no alcohol, no lighter fuel, and all that stuff is going to give a foul taste to the meat. And another thing, I use hardwood charcoal. You see, this is hardwood charcoal. There's a lot of that in the market. They sell a lot of this charcoal that actually is sawdust with black paint clumped into something that looks like a charcoal piece. They look all the same, but they don't have the same effect. You know,
well, this is the real thing.
This is the real thing.
Real deal.
You get good calorie, you know, like, I mean, and then it lasts longer. The other one, it just burns and it gets white and it disappears, and it's just basically a commercial thing, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, now the fire has been lit. I close the lid for the grill to start melting a little bit of the grease that's left over from the past barbecue, and now we're going to clean it again. Nothing fancy, just a wad of newspaper, and you just go like that, you know, basically to remove any excess from the previous barbecue. You see all that stuff that is grease, and you don't want it on the new thing, you know. Put a little bit of oil,
yeah,
regular cooking oil, to help the charcoal ignite, and you just light a fire.
Presto.
That's it. Yeah. Thing we're missing for the real barbecuer, he cannot work without a glass of wine, okay? And we got the wine, but we got to open it and start pouring. Otherwise, it's not real, okay?
It's fake preparation.
It's a fake preparation. So we're gonna open this up, okay? Because the barbecuer it's always hot there in front of that thing, you know. There we go. And yes, this came from Argentina, so you know.
Nice.
Yes, as you can see, Bodegas Lopez. It's not a fake either.
That's a nice proper one.
Yes. No fancy gas operated bottle openers here, you know. Just the old fashioned way.
Pop it open.
Pop.
There we go. One shot.
One shot. You know what I mean?
You put us to shame.
There is nothing to it. We pour. Audrey?
Okay,
no?
sure.
Yeah? A little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I think the barbecue is officially you know, got underway here.
It has been inaugurated.
Cheers. Cheers.
Salud.
Salud.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's it. Well, it's not Argentinian wine, but it's gonna do the trick, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we know that Canadians like hamburgers and hot dogs for their barbecues. What about the Argentinian style? Okay. What must you always have?
In Argentina, the cuts of beef are different to Canada, so it is hard to compare. But over there, we barbecue a lot with meat that has a lot of bone in it, you know, especially from this side of the animal, and it's called asado de tira. It's very flavorful, and you usually cook it very slow, the bone towards the fire slowly, and here, you know, you can get it in some specialized butcher shops, but they're too far away and we never go down that way, so we don't use it. Also, the chorizo or sausage, it's a must in any barbecue in Argentina. That's what goes into the grill first because it takes the longest, right?
Yeah.
And that's the one that comes out first for people to start enjoying and you know, having something to bite while the rest of the barbecue is being cooked.
Yeah.
Here we did the same thing, you see. We got sausage, we got chicken breast, we got steak without the bone, and for the ones that don't like to eat meat, this is patties made out of salmon. We also have some hamburgers because given the fact where we are is the easiest to find, you know. But yeah, then you have some other things like vegetables, potatoes that you can also barbecue, and as a matter of fact, you can barbecue just about anything you want. It's just how you prepare it and how you the sausages are ready, so I'm going to start removing this from the fire.
We'll be eating those in a bun.
This is
like choripan.
Choripan, for sure, you know. Now remember that these are pork sausages, and whenever you cook pork, you have to make sure that it's cooked pretty good, because you know, pork meat can carry some diseases if you don't cook it completely. So that's why they look a little bit charred on the outside, but they're not burnt. They're just cooked to perfection. Yes. You see? Now these are ready to go.
Maxi, Max, look at me, Max. This is our
your 15th birthday gift.
Yes, so Maxi joined the family when I was 15, which makes him about 14 years old, and he loves barbecues. He's waiting for the meat to be ready, particularly steak, and he doesn't have many teeth left, just like 3 in the front, but it's enough to eat steak. Right, Maxi? Maxi! Okay, so first off the grill, we have our choripan. Want to show us that?
I want to point out quickly that the barbecue is not done. We're just kind of being pigs and tucking into food early.
Yeah.
So this is the choripan. This is probably our favorite Argentine like street food that we had while we were in Buenos Aires, especially. So it's basically your classic thick sausage, your chorizo, inside the pan, which is the bun. So we have a nice kind of baguette here.
Yeah. We didn't put any chimichurri on it, but I mean, it's delicious nonetheless.
Oh, no.
Get those meaty flavors coming through.
This is awesome. It's been a couple months since we've been in Argentina, so this is a real treat. This is the first time we've had choripan since probably March, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
And we usually start the barbecue with this because it cooks first, it cooks the fastest. So while the steaks and burgers are still going, we're enjoying sausage.
It's an awesome appetizer to start things off. We've got some sides as well.
Yes, like we were saying before, you can barbecue just about any vegetable that you like. Here you see we got just plain potatoes with the skin and everything, cut in half, a little bit of oil, a little bit of salt, and you just put them on the grill slowly, let them cook. Here you got green peppers with a little bit of cut in half, remove all the stuff from the inside. You got rice, you got cheese, and you got an egg right on top, and this is gonna cook slowly, and it's also a good side dish that you can always enjoy with the barbecue, right? Here we got the beef, that's also done. These are steaks with no bone. They are sirloin tip, and they're ready to go. Same as the salmon patties. The sausage is already out, the hamburger is already out, and here we have a little bit, you know, for the people that enjoy fish, we have a little bit of, yep, let me get it open. It's hot. Yeah.
Oh.
There you have.
Super hot. Wow,
shrimp.
Look at the shrimps.
Okay, so that gives you an idea of what you can barbecue. It's limitless, and what we usually do here in my household is that when we barbecue, we usually barbecue enough for the whole week. So once you light the fire and you go through all the trouble, what's the use of just throwing a few hamburgers or hot dogs or a piece of meat for the weekend, right? What we do is we cook enough to last for the whole week, and that way you can have every evening, you know, a little bit of meat, a good dinner, and you know, it doesn't take up any more effort than just cooking for the Saturday or the Sunday or the holiday, you know.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
That's our routine. We got good meat for the rest of the week. All you need is, especially if the people work at home, you know, the housewife, the husband, everybody works these days. So you come home, you have a nice cut of beef, sausage, chicken, fish. We usually do salmon, and all you need is just like a side, a salad or some you know, potatoes with mayo, whatever you like as a side dish. But the principle is already done. You don't have to worry about it, and you don't, you know, it doesn't cost you anything extra because the charcoal is lit, the barbecue is out.
So Sam has just finished assembling his burger. Tell us what you're having.
Yeah, so I've got my wine in hand. We've got the homemade burgers, and this is probably the food I miss the most while we're traveling. It's hard to get really good burgers on the road. So this has just got your classic cheese, your tomato, your pickle, your lettuce, bit of ketchup, bit of mustard. So
on an Italian bun.
Yeah, on an Italian bun. Wow, that's delicious. Love the meat that's grilled to perfection, and that's what makes a good burger.
Nice and juicy?
Oh yeah.
So this is what my dad calls a small piece of steak. That's the smallest of them all. It fits the whole plate.
Yes.
How did your cooking turn out then?
I just had a choripan. I finished it. Now I'm tasting the steak. Yeah. And it's pretty good.
Pretty good?
Man, I'm a good barbecuer. Man, look. He'll give the final. What do you think, Max?
The dog approves. Yep, he approves.
He approves.
Papi, you're the best. Throw me another one. Okay.
Okay, so we have one vegetarian in the family who doesn't want to appear on camera. So I'm going to show you what the vegetarian option is. And now, being vegetarian in a South American household is pretty difficult because there's meat at every meal. And my dad was just asking me, do you want some chicken? No, that's not vegetarian.
That's so close enough, right?
If you have a look at my plate, we've got a grilled potato. We have a macaroni salad with celery and pickles. And we also have a roasted pepper with rice, cheese, and an egg on top. So, let's dig in.
Oh, that looks awesome. Look at all the melted cheese.
Yeah.
Yum.
And we actually got this recipe off of a different YouTube channel. It's called Locos por el Asado. And it's a group of Argentinian guys that grill meats and they prepare different recipes in Argentina. So this was on their channel a long time ago. That's where we found it.
All right, yeah, first bite.
It's steaming.
That's like fresh off the grill.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I told you so.
Very tasty. Let's try a bite with a bit of everything in there. I'm gonna try not to burn myself this time. Let the wind do its job.
Ring the bells.
Mm-hmm. Oh! Stop it! That's too hot! I'm blowing on it!
Everything is piping hot.
It's on fire! I can't eat it right now! I can't eat it! So that is a wrap for our summer barbecue, and I think you're both looking pretty full, pretty satisfied.
Yeah, the bellies are starting to protrude a bit. You know what? I think I ended up having 2 burgers, a huge piece of steak, and a choripan. So like, that's probably enough food for 2.5 days. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was awesome though. Thanks to the grill master who cooked everything for us.
Yep. Fed everyone and the dog too.
And the dog.
The dog got some steak.
And we have leftovers for the whole week.
The dog was happy, all right. He's gonna keep on living as long as I can keep on barbecuing. So we cannot stop, man.
He stays alive for that barbecue.
That's the only reason that keeps him alive.
He braves -30 in the winter just for this.
Just for barbecue.
The short window of opportunity to eat barbecue in the Canadian summer.
Yeah. All right, so that's a wrap then.
Yeah, that's a wrap from Brampton, Ontario.
It was a good barbecue.
Awesome barbecue.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next time.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.